we are definitely shifting the gears, and we're coming to the very interesting topic, which I think is not least vital than anything else we've discussed before, which is the future of travel. Does it exist? Will we ever go back to normal as we knew it? What's your take on this?
Well, it's also hard to predict how it's going to be after the last year, but I think I mean I hope I won't tire you and our audience with this optimism.
Well, it's just your nature in a way. Please do. Please do.
I think that as with yoga, the travel will never die.
Why do you think so?
Yeah, people have always traveled. They have always moved. They were always very interested in picky what's going on. Somewhere where I cannot see it. Yeah, how are the other people? How do the other people live? What they do? How they think?
Is it the part of our nomadic DNA? You think this movement and exploring, or is it something else embedded in our human nature? What's demanding this experience in us? What do you think?
I think it's a part of our nature.
Yeah.
We're interested in something new, something. The only way we can understand who we are is only in connection with something different than we are. So we have to see different landscapes. For example, if you were born in the desert, you have to see snow. Once I was in Israel and I saw the guys from Ethiopia. The group from Ethiopia came to a mountain and there was some snow, and I never seen so much happiness.
I have the same story from London, where there was a group of students from Africa, and they saw the snow for the first time. They were 25/30 years old, big guys, jumping, kissing the snow, licking the snow, doing the butter. Like, they were the happiest people on earth.
So I think we have to travel just to see different landscapes. I mean, one of the reasons why we should travel is to see different landscapes, because a culture is dependent on the landscape. If you were born in Iceland and you lived your life in Iceland, with these landscapes like marsh landscapes, you're not used to the tropical woods and the tropical
city.
climate, or the big cities. The understanding of the space is different when we go into different spaces.
And your space, your own space in that environment, probably is also very different.
How you understand yourself, how do you behave,
who you are.
how do you feel yourself? My attitude changes when I go into the desert. I'm different just because the landscape changed. Or I spent lots of time in my childhood in the Caucasus Mountains, and I know the way people think about the world when they grow up in that environment. It's very strict and very harsh environment with snow and avalanches and landslides in the summer. It changes. So the reason to travel. My reasons for travel and what the yoga travel project stands on, we have to travel to learn, we have to travel to develop ourselves, and it's not just because of the landscape, because another part of in travel is meeting other people, new people, speaking to them, understanding what their worldview is,
how it's different, completely different from yours.
Yeah, how it's completely different. Actually, we learn how to be tolerant to other people when we connect to different people. We learn about ourselves a lot. We learn about the cultures when we travel. That's the third thing. Because the culture is the product of that place, those people, that climate, those historical changes that this place has received over the years. So travel is a very important part of yoga.
And there's a saying, if you don't have a teacher, travel. If you do have a teacher, still travel.
Yes. So maybe I mean this thing was known for many years. No matter what spiritual tradition you think of, there's always a this tradition. A part of each tradition is to travel. Yeah.
But also the whole idea of transformation is a path in a
Yes.
way. It's a journey.
Yeah, even in the language we say the path, the spiritual path. Why is it the path? Why it's not the home, the spiritual home
Place.
or whatever place? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, that's beautifully said. And I'm getting a bit sentimental here because, you know, our backgrounds are very similar. From Ukraine, moving to the world, studying in Europe, and now living in the desert, which I absolutely adore. And I can definitely relate how much it changed me. So, do you think, talking about if you have the teacher travel, if you don't still travel, is it a self-sufficient way of spiritual advancement? Just to travel in that, you know, transformational surge for
No,
yourself?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think you have to have some kind of methodology to travel. You have to learn things. I mean, many people travel and they go to a new place and they don't learn anything or just a little bit.
Why? What is they missing?
They don't communicate. They're critical about the people who surround them in that new place, and they think that their environment is better. They don't want to open up and see new things, or they go abroad with a lot of big group with and people in that group are from the same country that you from the same city or maybe from the same
Stick
district as
together.
your friends, and you don't even have a communication with people from the outside of this group, although you're in a different country. Sometimes there's travel, you know, like a hotel travel when you or a swimming pool travel, yeah, when you go to a warm country and you sit on a swimming pool and you just, you know, drink martini and I mean,
Or the borscht.
it's all nice, but the purpose of this travel is, you know, just to relax. It's not about communicating with other people. It's not learning about this culture. So I would that is not the yogic travel. That's what I think.
So let's make it extinction. What is the travel for you? Here we're not talking about the travel industry, like as a business. Here we're not talking about the commuting on work. What is the travel for you?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that I have nothing against, you know, the swimming pool travel. I sometimes you need that, you know, to just go and, you know, relax. But as if we're talking about the yogic travel, I would say that the main criteria is to change. If you change during your travel, if you change a lot during your travel, then you have done.
You've traveled.
You've traveled, yes.
Beautifully said. Now, maybe one of the last few questions on this topic. Obviously, the borders are mainly closed now. People are at homes and they are dreaming about getting out. Taking into account that everything is changing right now, do you have any ideal scenario of how the future of travel should change or could change to accommodate this type of spiritual yogic travel?
Well, you know, I think you know, people have traveled the whole. I mean, the humanity has traveled during the whole time of its existence. So I think people will be traveling whenever they are and whatever is going on. You know, the coronavirus or something else. So the businesses, you know, that you know, the airlines, all the businesses that are concerned with the traveling, they will, you know, provide new ideas on how to do it better.
Safer.
So I would say that this period when we don't travel, when we sit at home, this 2020 and a little part of 2021 is a good time to understand who we are and how we want to travel.
And
so,
where.
And where. And with who or to whom. So I think that I'd like to think of 2020 as a period of self-awareness on the topic of travel. So you really, it's like, when you don't eat for a couple of days and then you really understand what you want. You even see it in your eye. Like you want just this little piece of bread yeah, you know precisely what you want. So I think of 2020 as a year, for understanding better who you are and what you want. Also in the concern of traveling.
Well, let's hope then the moment we can travel freely, that would be just absolutely conscious choices and we don't get chaotically overwhelmed with all the choice again. But maybe the choice will still be limited. So we're yet to see how it will all be evolving, really.
Well, I think it will. I mean, the airlines already giving this opportunity to buy a couple of seats, so you don't have someone, a passenger behind near you. You can even many airlines like in Ukraine and Russia, they provide this service. You can just buy a plane, and it's not really. I mean, you can organize a bunch of people and just go somewhere safely. So I think very new, interesting ideas are coming. So we can even, think of that.
So we are not talking of an opportunity of traveling in a VR reality and it will be fine. We'll not be satisfied with
Well,
that.
I think it's very boring, traveling in VR. I mean, we'll be travel. I mean, the VR traveling is interesting only. Yeah, it doesn't fascinate me at all, actually.
That's the only thing which he is not so optimistic about, just for the
No,
record. There is support.
I mean, I don't know how it will be.
Yeah, yeah.
But if we just put on the glasses and go. I mean, even now without the VR, we can use Google Maps,
Yeah, yeah.
and just go through museum. But it does. I think of it of. I mean, there's something wrong with that. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn something, but you don't have any ecstatic experience.
Well, if as you just said, mankind traveled through the wars, the absence of borders, the existence of borders, the Soviet closed borders, I don't think we'll be stopped here.
No, for sure not.
Now, the last question: what is your next destination, if it's not so private?
It's not so private. Actually, I'm thinking I have a little short break starting tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's go to Dubai.
I was thinking, yeah.
I'm leaving tonight, by the way. I have to catch up the thing.
Well, I was thinking about this, where do I want to travel? And I decided, just to go anywhere. Just tomorrow I will be going, I don't know where I'm going to be going, but I think somewhere in the west direction.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have like an open travel without, any goals or any places, precise
That's
places.
coming back to the recommendation number 2, I believe. Keep on exploring, listen to yourself, be open. He's living what he's preaching. That's beautiful. Well, Dmitry, that was like immense pleasure. We haven't seen each other for half a year, and finally we met here, and we were actually able not only to catch up, but hopefully to share this crazy new developments, ideas, and insights with our beautiful, widespread international audience. So thanks for everyone for watching, listening, and see you in Dubai soon.
Yes, thank you, Diana. Actually, I'm very thankful for you that we have this conversation, because I really sometime I'm glad that these ideas will come out, and because it's we have a conversation, we talk about this, or we in a small environment, but now we'll have the opportunity to speak out, and maybe someone else can say, oh, I think in the same way, or oh, I don't agree with this, and he will write to us an angry letter and saying, oh, you're wrong. So yeah, it's great. Thank you.